Hey guys, this is Daniel. I want to talk about the new innovative support arms, the universal support arms that I've created. I want to give you an idea of how to put them together. It's super simple, and essentially you're going to have two of these L sort of pieces, then of course two tracks. Your tracks are either going to be this design here, or they're going to have come in a little further. Well, let's see, let's grab this one, here we go. So you grab them in, it comes in towards the center a little bit. So whichever ones you have, it doesn't matter. You're going to have them, you're going to have a textured side and of course the track side. On the arms, you'll also have a textured side. There's probably a little bit of glue residue left over from printing, and of course a smooth side on that. So what I like to do is I like to take the two textured sides, and you could probably take some water and just kind of on a paper towel and wipe that off if you need to. But you're going to take the two textured sides, you're going to push it in, and the goal, there it goes, the goal is to have this flat, the L track piece here, and then of course it should be sticking out like a foot. So we got the leg, and then of course we got the foot down here at the bottom. And the simplest thing to do is, let me get these things out of the way, is to take the arm and the foot, just kind of set it down on the table like that, up against the edge. And the idea is we're going to take the M5 screw that's included. It's going to go through the foot and then through the ankle right there. That's the ankle joint. And of course we have a nylon locking M5 nut that kind of sits just gently in there. I'm going to hold it in there, and I'm going to start to twist it just a little bit just to get it started so it's not going anywhere. But before I tighten it down, we want to make sure this is perfectly straight up and down. So what I like to do is I put it up against the edge on my workbench and just off to the side here. And I'll try to do this with my other hands. Hold it down right here. So put 3 points of pressure if you can. On my palm of my hand here, my thumb, and then of course my fingers down here on the end. And then I come in with my M5 bolt to tighten it down. So I'm going to tighten that down. Try to do your best to hold it in place. And looks like I've got it angled there. That's not good. I was threading it wrong. Let's see. Yeah, let's fix this all together. All right, that's kind of jammed in there. All right, I'm gonna have to use a tool. Let's switch to the other one. So again, the textured side, foot side, just kind of push it in there. You can, if you need to, set it up against the bottom and hold it in there and just gently tap with a rubber mallet or something just to pop it into place. But that should do it. I'm going to take my M5 screw here, or my locking nut here, put my M5 screw there, and I'm going to make sure this actually fits in there correctly this time. There. That's much smoother. Should have caught that before, but so just before it hits the nylon, this is where I like to put it down, put my 3 points of pressure if I can on a flat surface. This is just to keep the leg and the foot in the right angle. So you'll notice that the threads will come out just a little bit past the nylon, and there we have an assembled boot. Now, there's an extra trick to this. So some of you may have the V4, some of you may have a V2 or even a V3 here. And of course the V2 and 3 both slide into the tracks from behind. So if this is your machine, you've got your router here, this is your machine here, the boot's going to come in from the back side and slide right into the track. If you've got a V4, yours is actually going to come in from the front and slide in and lock into place. So what I've done with these particular arms is I've made it possible. So up until now, the V4 arms that came with it were actually worked both ways. So they're essentially this exactly, as in you can come in from the back, you can come in from the front, so you can use either one. There's no stopper, so you're hoping that your magnets kind of catch in the right place, so you can drop your locking pin in. So what I've done to help with that is I've provided a couple of M3 by 10 millimeter screws and a couple of holes to put them in. So if you're working with the V4 only and you don't have any of the other boots, you can put your screw right here on the back side. So take that. It threads into plastic, so please do it by hand. But screw that in, and I'll get that in there all the way. Just screw that all the way up into it. And what that's going to do is it's going to provide a stopper, a place where the track will stop whenever it's being pushed into place. So I'm going to hold it this way so you can see it, but there's the stopper so that the track perfectly bumps up against that piece. So if I have the boot here, slide it in from the front, and it locks into place. You'll notice that it blocks that position there. Now, this basically opens up options for you guys. So instead of putting it in the back, you can put it in the front if you have a rear loading boot like V2 or V3. And then you can put the stopper there. Or maybe you're like me and you use both boots, one at a time obviously, but maybe you use one for one purpose if you got really thick stock or something like that, or you traditionally use the 2 or the 3. You can actually leave that screw out and have a front and back loading support arms. I guess they'd be support legs now, wouldn't they? But yeah, that gives you some options, and of course you repeat that for the other side, and then you have a pair. And yeah, then it's a matter of just putting in your locking or your thumb screws here right into your tracks, and you're good to go. The same thing applies to the other track style. It's basically, the determination is basically where I'm able to place the tracks. Either the tracks are further apart or the tracks are closer together, as you can see here, where they line up. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. This is Daniel with Pwn CNC, and yeah, thanks for being a customer. Oh, and don't just own your CNC, dominate it.